Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्कपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थितदद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः ओम Namaste everyone. Once again.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastine Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Panditas Samadharshinaha. In the last class, I struggled with the chanting of the shloka from Dhanyashtaka, which is set in Shardula Vikridita Vrittam. Shardula Vikridita Vrittam. Thanks once again to Ramuji. He has been very helpful, and I have somewhat learned to chant this in this meter. So I will try to chant and see whether it comes out okay. Sampurnam Jagadeva Nandanavanam Sarvepi Kalpadruma Kangambari Samastavari Nivaha Punya Samasta Kriya Vacha Prakrita Samskrita Srutishiro Varanasi Medini Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishte Parabrahmani. So this was the shloka which I was struggling to chant. So in short, what this shloka says is that for a jnani, the whole world is a relaxation ground. It's a park rather, right? Nandanavanam. It's a beautiful, lot of flowers, trees, etc. Lovely park. And all trees are kalpadhruma, kalpavriksha, it is kamadhenu, wish yielding tree. And all places are as holy as Varanasi. All rivers, including the dirtiest of rivers, are Ganga for him. So this is what this sloka says, describing the attitude of a jnani, how he perceives the world, how he perceives other people. That means the world remaining the same, people remaining the same, circumstances remaining the same, situations remaining the same. If the jnanis can enjoy ananda, it means the problem is not with the world, or the problem is not with the people. The problem is not with the objects or situations, but the problem is in the way that we see the world. The problem is in our perspective. Therefore, Vedanta says, don't ever try to change the situations or the world or the people. Don't try to transform the world. Try to transform your attitude, your perspective of the world. And that is where Vedanta helps. Vedanta helps in transforming my perspective of the world. And what type of perspective that I have with regard to the world? See, the psychology is somewhat like this. Somebody has nicely said the world is like a mirror. I see only myself in the world. What I see in the world is what I see in myself. Therefore, the way I look at the world depends upon the way I look at myself. That's why Puja Swamiji says, once you accept yourself completely, you will accept the world also completely. You will have no dispute, difficulty with dealing with any person, any situation in the world. Our problem is our own self-acceptance is very low. We don't accept ourselves as we are. For example, suppose I am very dress conscious. I am very much bothered about my dressing. That means what? Whatever I put on a dress, that is not acceptable to me. So I try to change the dress. In fact, for some people, it's a very big issue, and it is also a subject matter of a dispute between spouses in many houses. They oft quoted joke, the spouses, the husband and wife were supposed to go someplace. The husband will get dressed in 5 minutes, and the wife will take probably an hour or so to get dressed up. They will have to stand in front of the cupboard where the dresses are kept. Oh, the topmost question will be whether to wear this or that, whether this will go well with my sandals, or this dress will go, well with my hairstyle. So many such questions. They will try to, half the time is spent in this itself to decide which dress is to be worn. So the psychology is whenever I come into contact with people, which aspect I will see in them. If I am dress conscious, I will see how people are dressed. If I am hairstyle oriented, I will study their hairstyle. That will be the focus. If I am physical look oriented, I will study their physical personality. If I am the emotional personality oriented, I will see the emotional personality of the people. Again, if I am an intellectual, I will look for intellectuality in others. What we look for in ourselves, we try to look for in others also. And that is why Ramana Maharshi, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi tells beautifully in his work, Saddarshanam. Sarupa buddhir jagadishware cha sarupa dhiratmani avadaste arupa atma yadika prapashyet sa drishti reka navadirhi purna. So even God that we visualize depends upon which aspect of our personality we are obsessed with. If I am obsessed with my physical look, my picturization of the God will be, oh, Sundara hai, beautiful, Sundari. So if I'm physical body oriented, I will picturize God as beautiful, having a very nice, body. If I am an emotional person, for me, the Lord becomes a symbol of love, compassion, care, etc. If I am a rational person, intellectual, I look upon the Lord as an omniscient one. Therefore, I look at myself. As I look at myself, so I look at the Lord. If I take myself to be a Saguna Jiva, Ishvara will also be a Saguna Ishvara only. If I understand I am Nirguna Chaitanyam, then the perception of God will be as Nirguna Chaitanyam. Therefore, both world and God I look based upon how I look at myself, based upon my understanding of myself. So therefore here Krishna says, Jnani looks upon himself as what? Jnani looks upon himself as Atma. How does he look upon his body-mind complex? Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya. He has the correct objective perspective about his body-mind complex. He fully understands it. What I am having is a temporary dress. This will have to be, once it is worn out, this will have to be discarded. And if the Jnani looks upon himself as I am Atma, then he will look upon everyone also as the same Atma only. Therefore, in a Jnani's version, everyone is Atma, everyone is Chaitanya. So just as I am the Atma with an incidental body, similarly, everyone, all living beings are Atma with an incidental body, with a superficial coating of a costume. If that be so, Krishna says, for a Jnani, there is no difference at all. Sarvatra Samadarshanam. Therefore, the benefit of this knowledge, in fact, I should say one more benefit, which Krishna emphasizes is Sarvatra Samadarshanam. And this Samadarshanam is not through the physical eye. Physical eye will always see only differences. It is through the eye of wisdom, Jnana Chakshusha, Divya Chakshusha, Sarvatra Samam Asangam Satchidanandam Chaitanyam Pashyati. What about the physical organs, body, etc.? Jnani's eyes, physical eyes will see the differences. But the differences are seen as superficial differences. Once they are seen as superficial differences, those differences will become less pronounced and samatvam will become more pronounced. So this is the change of perspective, which is like, Swami Paramathananda ji gives a beautiful example. Suppose it's like 100 rupee note in the hands of a child. Does the child understand what is that paper it is holding, whether 100 rupee or 500 rupee note? For a child, all papers are the same. Samadarshana. A 5 rupee note also is a piece of paper. A 500 rupee note also is a piece of paper. It may crush them, tear them, throw them. It will take a pen and write all over the currency notes. Because for the child, it is all paper. Samadarshana. But as adults, do we see them as paper? It is not that we are missing seeing the paper. But in and through the paper, we see some other thing also. A superimposed value on the paper. A value which has got relevance only for transactional purposes. The moment that piece of that whatever be the currency note, suppose you have put the currency note in your shirt pocket and you wash the shirt, the whole currency note becomes completely mutilated or soaked in water and all. Not fit for it. It goes back to its original form, mere paper, not fit for any transactional purposes. So that on the same size, same thickness of paper, we superimpose different values. Same paper will say, oh, it's a 5 rupee note, it's a 10 rupee note, it's a 100 rupee note, etc. We are superimposing value, paper remaining the same. So that value has got relevant for only for transactional purposes. And in the same way, Jnani is Samadrishti, Ajnanis are Vishamadrishti. Jnani is Abheda Drishti, Ajnanis are Bheda Drishti. This is the essence of this sloka. And for a Jnani, that Samadarshanam is spontaneous. Of course, he will start in the initial stages, it may be deliberate. Then a stage comes after practicing for a length of time, the Samadarshanam becomes spontaneous. Therefore, Krishna says, Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Here, Panditaha means Jnanis, Atma Jnanis. Even though the word Pandita in normal parlance, even in English dictionary, it has now been imported. Indian languages, of course, every language will talk about Pandit ji in Hindi. The word Pandita in all these languages means a scholar in any field. Like in school, we used to say Hindi Pandit, Sanskrit Pandit, etc. So in all other languages, Pandit means a scholar in any field. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Pandita means Atmajnani. And if you recall, this is the explanation of Pandita which Krishna has used in the very first verse of his teaching. Second chapter, 11th verse. Ashocya ananda shochastvam prajnavadanscha bhashase gatasu nagatasuscha nanushocanti pandita. So the pandita there refers to Jnani, which we have seen. We have discussed this sloka in quite detail. So if you want to know, there Krishna just said Pandita. Then of course, based upon Adi Shankara's Bhashyam and all, we interpreted, understood what the Pandita means. Here in this sloka, Krishna is defining the word Pandita. He says Pandita Samadarshina. As I said, not through physical eyes. Through physical eyes, I see only differences. Different colors, different forms, different smells, different... The physical eyes are meant to see only differences. If you just imagine, if the eyes see, they begin to see everything as the same, that means what? Swami Paramatmananda says, they are ready for cataract surgery. So if the physical eyes start seeing samatvam, that means you have to go to the hospital for a surgery. If the jnana eye, the eye of wisdom sees samatvam, you are ready for moksha. Therefore, do not miss that. Panditaha samadarshinaha. Here the word sama means sama atma darshinaha. And where do they see samatvam? He gives a big list of widely different things in the world. Starting from one end of the spectrum to another end of the spectrum. He starts with Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. So a Brahmana is one extreme of this spectrum Krishna quotes. Here the word Brahmana means not like you and me, whoever is wearing this sacred thread today, we call him a Brahmana. That is the tragedy of our times. Here Brahmana means a cultured, informed, educated, refined person. Sattva guna pradhanaha Brahmanaha. In fact, Brihadaranya Upanishad, that goes one step forward. There the Acharya says the real title Brahmana can be given only to a Brahmagyani. You can call other people as Brahmana in the secondary sense of the term, but the primary meaning of the word Brahmana is a Jnani. There, Brahmana is defined as the knower of Brahman. So, after Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam, when a person becomes Brahmanishta, he alone deserves the title Brahmana. So here, a Brahmana who is Vidya Vinaya Sampannaha, who is endowed with Vidya. What type of Vidya? Atma Vidya. And Vinayam, who is a rich person, rich in the wealth of Jnanam. According to Shastra, the real wealth is knowledge, Jnanam only. Material wealth is only a secondary wealth, temporary wealth. Real wealth is Vidya. Therefore, it is said in the Shastra, Vidya Dhanam Sarvadhanat Pradhanam. Because the other wealth can purchase only finite things in the creation, whereas knowledge is the only wealth with which we can purchase the ultimate moksha itself. And that is why it is said, Vidya Dhanam Sarvadhanat Pradhanam. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said, Dravina Gumsa Varchasam Sumeda Amritokshitaha Iti Vishwango Vedanu Iti Trishango Vedanu. So this knowledge is said to be Dravina, the wealth. Therefore, the word Vidya Sampanna means a Brahmana is one who is rich in knowledge of wealth. According to Varnashrama Dharma, a Brahmana is not supposed to be materially rich. In fact, he is supposed to practice poverty voluntarily. Because I am not I'm not saying now those who want to call themselves Brahmana should practice, poverty, start practicing poverty. But according to the tradition, Brahmana has to be voluntarily poor. Means what? I mean, he is not going to demand anything from anybody. His attitude towards getting anything is a bhiksha attitude. Whatever people want to give me, let them give. And that is why, if you connect all these things, sannyasa ashrama is ideally suited for Vedanta. Because all the ingredients which go in change of attitude are there in sannyasa ashrama. So if Jnani is poor in the material sense of the term, this material poverty is amply compensated by another wealth, which is Jnana Dhanam. Therefore, Vidya Sampannaha. A Brahmin is one who is rich in knowledge wealth because it is because of this knowledge that he is also Vinaya Sampannaha. He is an embodiment of humility. Vinaya means humility. Krishna calls it Amanitvam. Diluted ego. Because Vidya cannot come without Vinaya. Vidya and Vinaya go together. Like they give the example, a tree bearing lot of fruits, the branches will always be drooping with the weight of the fruits. And as we know that water always will flow from higher level to a lower level, similarly, only an humble mind can receive the wisdom. And that is why, we indicate the humility by bending. So when I bend, I accept that I am at a lower level. When I do namaskara like this, I accept that I am putting you at a higher level. So when I bend in front of someone, I accept that the other one is at a higher level, be it a elderly person, be it a guru, whoever it is. Therefore, Adihi Bhagavaha, go to a teacher and bend. Please teach me, please give me wisdom. Therefore, without humility, wisdom cannot come. Therefore, the Brahmana is one who is embodiment of wisdom and humility. And here, Krishna refers to such a highest noble entity. Then Krishna talks about other example, takes up other example. Gavi. Gavi means a cow. Gauhu means cow. Gavi means seventh case. In the cow. So in the Brahmana, that's also seventh case. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Gavi. And cow, as you know, is very much respected in our tradition. It is considered to be a sattvic animal. That's why Go Puja is a part of our culture. It is said that Gavam Angeshu Tishtanti Sarve Devaha. All devas are supposed to be residing in the body of the cow. And that is why even now, in villages and all, or even in towns, I have seen people, when they see a cow, they will do pradakshinam. Because pradakshinam to the cow is supposed to be equal to pradakshinam of all the devatas. So Krishna takes up the example of a cow, sattvic cow, as a second example. So now, why is Krishna enumerating all these things? We should know the purpose of this enumeration, isn't it? It is to emphasize that a jnani sees the same Atma in all these things. Whether it is a Vidya Vinaya Sampanna Brahmana, whether it is a cow. Third example, he says Hastini. Hasti means an elephant. That is also very much respected in our tradition, even though feared also. No temple festival is complete without elephant. Elephant is also worshipped as the embodiment of Vinayaka. Therefore, Hastini. Then he comes down to Shuni. According to our tradition, among the animals, the lowest category is Shwaha, dog. And that is why, old traditional people, they will not allow dog inside the house. Of course, now things have changed. People even sleep with their dogs, with the pet dogs, the same bed. Whether the spouse has got place in the bed or not, the dog will certainly have. In fact, many videos I said the dog demands to sleep with the masters. And for many people, the attachment towards dog is so much that if you tell the dog is considered to a lower category, they will get angry. In fact, the latest trend, which very shockingly I am finding, married couples, they don't want to have a child. Instead, they want to get a dog as a pet. See where the world is going. Kali Yuga, all Kali Yuga indications. So here, Krishna perhaps is not referring to pet dogs, but he is referring to stray dogs which scavenge in the streets, howl throughout the night, disturbing our sleep. Everybody will curse those dogs. So perhaps he is referring to such dogs to show how troublesome they are. Anyway, if there are dog lovers or have a dog as a pet, do not get upset. Actually, you can look at it different way. What Krishna is implying is that Jnani sees only Atma in such a dog also. So it is not to denigrate the dog, but to elevate the dog to a highest level. That is the right perspective of understanding this. And next one he says is Shwapakaha. Shwapakaha literally means one who eats dog meat, dog eater, who cooks dog meat and eats them. But here we can take a general meaning. Shwapaka means an uncultured person. Because in our culture, meat eating itself is looked down upon, not accepted, because it involves himsa. Shastras ordain that one should not consume liquor, one should not eat meat, especially if one has come to a spiritual field. One wants to become a Brahmana. Because in the spiritual field, what is the sadhana, main sadhana? First, we have to raise our levels, or we have to make ourselves sattva guna pradhana from and raise and minimize the tamo guna in us. So anything associated with tamo guna has to be given up to the maximum extent possible, except for things like sleep, etc., which cannot be given up. Tamo guna pradhana food items can be avoided. Rajo Guna Pradhana food items have to be avoided. Only Sattva Guna Pradhana food items one should have, because the food which we eat has got a direct bearing on our personality also. So meat eating itself is considered to be a tamasic karma which promotes tamoguna. And amongst the meat eating people also, the dog eater is considered to be the worst one. And therefore, Krishna puts Shopakaha in the other end of the spectrum. The dog eater as the last one. So one side of the spectrum is a very noble Brahmana, Vidya Vinaya Sampanna Brahmana. Other end of the spectrum is Shwapakaha, a dog eater. In between, even though Krishna gives few examples like Gavi, Hastini, etc., we can include all other human beings, all animals, even plants, all jivas we can include. Now, are they all same or different? It's very simple. As we read the list which Krishna himself gives, we can have a bigger list, of course. We know that they are all widely different. In fact, the differences alone are perceived very glaringly. How can an elephant and a cow be the same? Even in terms of size, there is a huge difference. Therefore, differences are there. But what Krishna wants to say is that the differences belong to the superficial, stula, sukshma, sharira level. The physical bodies are different, minds are different. Even culture that we talk about, the character that we talk about belongs to what? Shariram or Atma. When you say a Brahmana is a sattvic person and a Swapakaha is a tamasic person, these two characteristics, sattvic and tamasic characteristics, they belong to body or Atma. All these belong to the body alone. Some belong to Stula Shariram. Some characteristics belong to the Sukshma Shariram. So all gunas also belong to the Shariram only. Atma is Nirguna. Therefore, all differences belong to Anatma only. And a Jnani's vision is focused on what? Atma. Therefore, Sarvatra, Sarveshu, Sharireshu, Samadarshinaha. Because he's focusing only on Atma, not the physical differences. And again, we should be very, very careful here. All this Samadarshanam is only for the purpose of Jnani's own consumption, his own attitude, his own perspective. So the Samadarshanam is only in the back of his mind, in the subconscious mind. Whenever he is transacting with the world, whenever a Jnani is transacting with the world, this wisdom of Samadarshanam should be playing constantly in his mind, like the Tampura Shruti, which accompanies the main music. The music may have different ragas, different beats, talas, etc. But the Tampura Shruti will maintain everything, will keep the music under, I would call it, enjoyable range. So the Jnani knows that in the transaction, differences have to be accommodated and dealt with accordingly. Otherwise, what will happen? Suppose he asks for a glass of water and somebody brings a glass of water. Then Sarvatra Samadarshinaha. We will not know which is glass and which is water if you only see Atma in both glass and water. He cannot swallow the glass. So a wise man knows that the empirical level, at the transaction level, a man is a man, a woman is a woman, a book is a book, a glass is a glass, a water is water, a table is a table. He does not get confused at all. Vyavahare Vedaha Santi. In Vyavahara, I have to follow the Dharma Shastram. And for following Dharma Shastram, the Atma Jnanam in the background will be helpful. And that is why Shankaracharya says in one of his works, Bhavad Dvaitam Sadha Kuryat. Kriyat Dvaitam Na Karhichit. Advaitam Trishu Lokeshu Na Advaitam Guruna Saha. So Bhava Dvaitam Sada Kuryat. Let the Advaita Jnanam be there in the background. In Vyavahara, everything has to be treated as it deserves to be treated. Kriyat Dvaitam Na Karhichit. Advaitam Trishu Lokeshu Na Advaitam Guruna Saha. So after studying Advaita Shastram from the Guru, suppose the Shishya goes to the Guru and says, you and there is no difference between you and me. Both of us are same. So until now I have done namaskara to you. For a change, why don't you do namaskara to me? How appropriate would it be? So in transaction, Guru is Guru. Even though you may know Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, all that you know in the background, the Guru, the very same Guru has taught you. But that should not lead for you to see the Guru as yourself. In transaction, a Guru is a Guru. He has to be respected. But let this wisdom be there in the background. And therefore, Samadarshanam is in the subconscious mind. It is just like a jeweler, who handles hundreds of ornaments, knowing the difference. Suppose you go to a jewelry shop and you pick up two different ornaments. One set of bangles, beautifully designed. Another is a necklace, again beautiful design. And you take both of them to the jeweler and ask them, what is the price of this? What does the jeweler do? He will weigh each one of them and then he will apply the rate of gold prevailing on that day and charge you for that. Isn't it? Of course, he will add some small making charges. Sometimes they even waive the making charges, they say. Making charges means the effort that has gone into making a particular design or something like that. But that's a very, very, very small amount. 1% or I don't know how much it is. In and through all this transaction, the jeweler is very clear. I am not dealing, even though I am transacting for a bangle or a necklace, a necklace is an ornament which is to be put in the neck, and a bangle is an ornament which is put in the hand, etc. He knows all that. Or a ring is an ornament which is put in the finger. So even though he treats the ornaments differently all the time, he has got only one vision. Sarvatra gold darshanam. He is going to transact it only on the basis of the gold involved, not the design. If you go and if you want to bargain with the jeweler, he will not compromise on the price of gold. He may be able to give you some discount on the making charges, which is what he charges for the specific design. But Sarvatra gold darshanam the jeweler has got. And that darshanam does not confuse him. This is called Vyavaharika Bheda. He will charge a different price depending upon the quantum of gold in the respective ornaments. So, though Vyavaharika Bheda is there, but all along the jeweler is aware of their Swarnata. Everything is gold. Similarly, Jnani knows there is a Vyavaharika Bheda, but everything that is there in the cosmos is Atma alone. This is called wisdom. We will continue. Ihaiva tairjita sargaha yesham samye stitham manaha nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te stitaha. Excuse me. The Anvaya of the Shloka is Iha eva sargaha jitaha taihi yesham manaha samye stitham brahmahi samam nirdosham tasmat te brahmani stitaha. Iha eva, here itself, sargaha jitaha, birth is won over, taihi, by them, esham manaha, whose mind, samye sthitam, is established in sameness, brahmahi, Brahma is indeed samam, the same, nirdosham, and defectless, tasmat, therefore, te sthita, they are established Brahmani, in Brahman. So what this sloka says is, here itself, birth is won over by them, whose mind is established in sameness. Brahman is indeed the same and defectless. Therefore, they are established in Brahman. Another very, very, very significant sloka from Advaita Vedanta perspective. Very important verse. Many of you should be wondering, that is, Guruji, every verse he says important. No, of course, from a Jnana Yoga point of view, all verses are important. Krishna is taking so much pain, going into deeper and deeper details rather, to make Arjuna understand, because he knows that it's not a very easy thing to understand, easy subject matter. So, on a general level, this verse is also important, but this verse is important from a particular angle. What is that? Because in philosophy, in this, where the different darshanams that we have, the schools of Vedanta, there has been a continuous debate for a very long time, even before Shankaracharya, during Shankaracharya times, even today. What is the debate? Whether liberation or moksha can be gained while living, or is it some event happening after death? This is one of the discussions, a highly debated topic amongst philosophers. And many of them philosophers who are also Vedic scholars, they point out that liberation is not possible while living. They say liberation is only after death. And they describe liberation as going to a particular place after death. Either they will say Shivaloka Prapti, Vishnaloka Prapti, or some Prapti they will say. This is how moksha or liberation is understood by many people. And of course, they will rely on stories from Puranas to buttress this argument. They will not refer to Upanishad and all to say that going somewhere. Even Bhagavad Gita, they will ignore for that purpose. But in Advaitam, we emphasize it is not so. Liberation is possible here and now. And in support of this view, we take this particular verse, this sloka, wherein Krishna clearly says one gets freedom ihaiva. Iha man means here, eva means alone, itself. So here and now liberation is possible. So it's a very big statement Krishna makes. Moksha is possible while living. You can get it in this bhuloka. You don't need to go to any other loka for that. But liberation is possible for whom? Taihi sargaha jitaha. Taihi means whom? It refers to the people of Abheda Drishti, Samadrishti, which we saw in the previous sloka. Samadarshi Jnani bihi, by the Jnanis who are Sargaha Jitaha. Sargaha means what? Sargaha means Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, cycle, otherwise called Samsara. Jitaha means conquered or won over. So samsara is conquered, samsara is overcome, samsara is mastered by the jnanis here and now. That means what? Samsara does not affect them. Why? Because their vision has changed. If you recall the example which we discussed in the last class or the class before, when the wave was taking itself to be a wave, just imagine that wave is self-conscious. Wave has got a consciousness which it can think. So when a wave looks out itself as a wave, what will it be thinking? It will think, I am born out of this ocean. At a particular moment, I was born. I have got a date of birth, time of birth. Now I am growing older and older as I move towards the shore, seashore. Even though I am growing older and older, I still celebrate that by giving chocolates to other waves. Today is my birthday. I am also afraid that as a wave, I will disintegrate and merge into the ocean, which will be my death. Therefore, as I look upon myself as a wave, I see myself as a mortal wave, subject to the power of the wind, because the wind alone decides my birth and death. In our case, the wind indicating prarabdha. But imagine the very wave has shifted its vision. Instead of taking or mistaking itself to be a wave, it claims that I am water with an incidental form of a wave. The wind has not created me. I have been there all the time as water. The wind, all that the wind has done is it has given some shape to me, and that shape is incidental, and the shape is bound to go. So whether the shape is there or not, whether the form is there or not, I am the eternal water. Even the powerful sun cannot destroy me. It may be able to evaporate me, but still it can't destroy me. As a cloud, I will continue. the water, will continue in the form of a steam or humidity. And even when I am pouring down, I continue as rain. And when I pour into streams, which are called rivers, I may have different names in different janmas, but I am the eternal water. Sometimes I am called wave, sometimes I am called cloud, sometimes I am called rain. But essence of everything is what I am. I am the eternal water. Nobody can destroy me. So if a wave is able to have such a vision, then what will we call that wave? We will call it a jnani wave, enlightened wave, isn't it? Similarly, here also, because of the shift in the perspective, I am no more subject to birth and death. Jnani knows, na jayate mriyate va kadachit, nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah. Just as in sleep, I am not transacting through the body, even though during sleep my transactions end, but I continue to survive. The end of transaction is not the end of me. Similarly, during death, this physical body may go away. I will stop transacting through this body, but I am surviving. And once a person understands this, the fear of mortality is gone. And therefore, Krishna says, Sarga hai jita hai. Mortality or samsara is won over by them. By whom? Esham manah samye stitham. Whose mind is established in samadarshanam. Even for one moment, if the wave forgets its true nature, it will be gripped with fear. It will say to itself, oh my God, I am being pushed towards the shore. And if I reach the shore, I will die. I will have to take leave of all the nearby waves, the husband wave, the wife wave, the grandson wave. I have to take leave of all of them. So even a momentary slip will result in the conclusion that I am mortal. Therefore, the mind should have nishtha. And to present that, Krishna uses the word samye stitham, samadarshine stitham. But not in transaction. It is in the subconscious mind. So somebody comes and asks you, who are you? You should not say, I am stula sukshma karana sharire vyatirikta avastatraya sakshi swarupaha panchakosha vilakshana sachidananda swarupa. All that introduction you should not give. If you say that, you will find everybody running away from you very fast. So for worldly transaction, I will say I am son of so and so and so. I am the son of so and so. Father's name is so and so. Mother's name is so and so. My qualifications are so and so. They give a biodata for worldly purposes. But let there be the deep understanding that all these biodata are stories which people will forget in a few decades. And therefore, yesham manah samye sthitam. Then what is the nature of the art? That samavastu, samam brahma. So that samavastu, sama, as I told, the same inherent entity, which is in everyone, is called Brahman, otherwise called Chaitanyam. And that is why, if we observe our language, whenever I say I am, whatever you make qualifications, you can add to that. I am is common. I am a boy. I am a man. I am so and so. I am Acharya, I am Guru, I am a student, I am Krishna. You can add any qualification, but that I am remains the same. Common factor in all of them is I am. And the word I is Chit Swarupam. Because a conscious entity alone can say I. A table cannot say I. A laptop cannot say I. Therefore, I means consciousness. Am means existence. This consciousness existence, Sat Chit alone, is common to all of us. Whether you say, you will also say I am, I will also say I am. So what that I am refers to? Atma. Thereafter, you can add so many things, son, daughter, educated, big man, small man. All other later additions belong to either the Stula Shariram or Sukshma Shariram. Therefore, the Samavastu is called Brahman. We'll continue tomorrow in the next class. The lead time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Dhanyawad everyone. I hope you all mark your attendance.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Very, very, very deeply satisfied and enlightening today.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank
Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste, Pranam.
Namaste, Pranam. Thank you. Any questions? No hands have gone up. I guess then either
Namaskaram, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Sanjay.
Guruji, this enlightenment has to be achieved in this janma only, in this birth only.
Has to be
So
nahi.
from that
Can be.
this birth only. So from that perspective, we for a dead person, the person who has left, we wish like atma ko shanti pradan kare. So that is not correct for everybody, because only enlightened bodies only will get peace. So we should wish and atma ko sadgati pradan kare, isn't it?
Correct.
That is the correct way of praying for the.
So what has happened is lot of Christian influence, they don't have this rebirth business and all. So they say rest in peace. That's what they say. They want the body. There is no Atma, Brahman business and all in other religions. There everything is confined only to this body, mind, sense complex. So what is that thing? There's the body, mind all were active, running around and having undergoing lot of this thing. Finally, when dead, it is peaceful. So once they bury the body, their prayer is, let this, whatever their body has been undergoing, let that not disturb this body again. Still peace. That's the prayer. But we don't believe in that at all, because for us there is no rest till moksha.
Correct.
Even after death also, the Stula, the Sukshma and Karana Sharira are traveling. They are going through. That is why all this Shraddha ceremony and all is all meant for this. What do you mean by Satgati? Satgati means safe from this Janma to the next Janma, because Shastra says that this journey is has a lot of obstacles, difficulties, etc. So many stories are there, Garuda Purana and all. So many stories of what all, thirst, hunger, it won't get any food, etc. So many stories are there. So for that only, all these rituals are all there, Shraddha, Namavati. So that is our tradition, our culture. So
Our
I
culture.
not right. You should say, I pray for Sadgati of the departed soul.
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yes. Okay, Guruji, thank you.
Anything else? Okay, then I think no more questions today. Hariji, our opening batsman, is absent. So I think that's why he doesn't kick off the questions. Anyhow, we will meet next Saturday. We'll close the class because there are no questions. Hari, thank you very much.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you, Guruji.